All right, we are officially live for another night of the noticing. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give some people some time to shuffle on in here. It's like we got a few of you here. Hopefully, more of you will show up as we get started. We are joined tonight in a few moments. I'm going to be joined by the Revolutionary Change Network. Is it called Network? I think it's just Revolutionary Change now. Maybe it's Revolutionary Change now. But either way, it's our good friends Jen Perelman and Peter Hager. So I know I'm a little early. Well, we're supposed to start at 5, and I just wanted to start a little early, Obi-Wan, so that by the time this show is on the road, we will we'll have a good portion of people here. So yeah, it feels like every day we're getting more emails are being unearthed, more of the depravity. So I feel like we'll talk a lot about this latest tranche of Epstein files. Tranche is steadfastly becoming my favorite word to use to sound smart. Saint Siren Salt, I will remind you that there is absolutely no cursing in this stream. So just watch your mouth, okay? You just watched Comrade Batty. Yeah, she was just live reading What Is to Be Done. And what is to be done? What is to be done? It's such a simple question. And yet, people have written books. And yeah, that was I think that was one of the first times that Comrade Batty's gone live on the YouTubes. Third. Okay. Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I said one of the first times. Okay. So third still counts. Here's Comrade Batty's YouTube page. There's the link. Follow her. Hello, Thugbone. Welcome in, everyone. I'm saying hello to you all. I know you have, Thugbone. I'm not worried about you. It's all these other knuckleheads. Yeah, I'm told, Lee, that Jen and Pete will be here momentarily to join the stream. And we're going to talk about your mother. And your mother. Did you know that your mom was in the Epstein files? Your mom was mentioned hundreds of times, if not thousands. Why is Elon Musk's mommy following you? I don't know, but she actually liked one of my tweets one day, and I was very taken aback by that. But you got to follow. That's big time. That is big news. Who's your mom? I mean, if you can't answer that question, you need some help. Please, yes. Please, please, please. What? There's no volume. Yeah, right. On Instagram. No, you're talking about my stream? Jen, can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get started? Hell yeah. That's so cool. Guys, we're joined by Jen Perelman. How are
Hi.
you doing? Hello, Jen.
How are you?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you.
It's
I haven't. I mean, it's a long time no see. Of course, I've been. I can't say that that's completely true because I watch you guys regularly, so I see you all the time. But we haven't been face to face, so
no,
that's
it's
cool.
been a
How are you?
while.
I can't hear you. Let me see if I. It might be my end. Um, there we go. Here, I
Can
think I
you
got.
hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay, great. I'm just getting used to the StreamYard flow of things. By the way, congratulations to you and Peter on crossing over 100K on your channel. That's so awesome. I don't think I ever said congratulations to you, but
Thank
that's
you.
cool. Does anything happen? What's it like on the other side?
What? Well, we haven't gotten a plaque,
Yeah,
which doesn't surprise me in the least bit. I said to Peter a long time ago, I'm like, I just have this feeling, even if we were to hit the 100K, for some reason, I don't think we're getting a silver plaque. And sure enough, no, nothing. I haven't gotten anything. I haven't gotten an email about anything. Nothing.
it's because you're a lowly goy, all right, just like all of us. Oh no, now she's gone. Wow. Wow, she really did not enjoy.
No. Did it make me okay? This is what happened. So I realized now that you're StreamYard, I can stream. And I went to go log in, and for some
Oh,
reason, so now it made me log in. And
oh,
so
okay.
now it's gonna let me stream, but I'm just trying to cross stream. That's all. And so I'm not the most tech savvy person.
Well, yeah, I know that I believe that we're able to stream to both pages right now, right? Is the
Well,
goal?
I should be able to. It
Okay.
says, but I don't know that it's gonna let me. We haven't
Oh,
tried it. I
oh,
don't know. I think once I did it, I got kind of lucky with it,
uh-huh.
but
Well,
I don't know.
I like the setup for StreamYard. I like that you can feature comments. I usually use OBS, and this is just far more interactive. I don't like how you have to pay for it though, like in order to like get all the bells and the bells and whistles for it, because they love to paywall things. But
Right. So for some reason, it won't let me do it. I have been able to do it before. For some reason, it's wanting me to jump through all these hoops. And the only difference is if I'm streaming, then I also have whoever's in the chat over there, whatever. It's not, yeah,
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Well, I appreciate you seeing me on this in this setting, because I know we had a coordination problem. That was my fault. So thank you for
Oh, that's
uh,
okay.
and I know you guys usually stream a little bit earlier, but so anyway, thanks for accommodating me. But how's it going? So what do you? I mean, I feel like every day I wake up and I see more emails being unearthed, more depravity with this latest tranche of Epstein files. What's your biggest takeaway from all of this? Like all the stuff that we've been learning. What do you find? What strikes you most of all?
Um, that it's that nothing seems to matter in terms of real justice and actual accountability,
Hmm.
right? Like it's all just talk.
Yeah,
It's all talk. Like nothing actually is going to happen, I don't believe. And that is, at this point, it's not surprising. I mean, I feel like we've been watching this for a really long time. I
yeah,
feel like this has been unfolding, and this is by no means the only thing where we see there's no accountability and justice. Like that seems to be the common theme is
yeah.
that wealthy people are not accountable. Oligarchs are not accountable.
And not only that, they're just lying bold faced to us. I watched Donald Trump from the Oval Office say Epstein's files got nothing on me. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, it has everything to do with you. And yeah, they can just lie with impunity. It seems like it looks like Peter's here, finally straggling behind as
He's on
usual.
Peter time. He's on Peter
He's
time.
on Peter time.
No, I'm
There
on
he is,
bad. I'm on bad camera time.
and he's
Didn't
wearing a bulletproof
Pedro, are
vest
you
again.
wearing a hoodie? Are you wearing a hoodie?
Oh
Okay, but
God.
you've got a hood though. I know you've got a hood.
I do have a hood, but I'm not putting it on.
Okay, I'm just saying. I know you do.
Not the Giants, Peter. Come on.
What are you, an Eagles fan?
Hell no, man. I'm the Saints fan. You know that.
Oh yeah,
Come
well,
on.
that's unfortunate. You know, we got really lucky that second Eli championship. We didn't have to face the Saints in the conference title game in New Orleans. We probably would have
Oh
lost that
yeah.
game. So,
Yeah.
oh well.
Eli's from New Orleans. That's my friend. Not really, but you know. Did you
Yeah.
know that I actually taught Cooper Manning's daughter?
Really?
You know, I
Really?
know I'm big timing everyone right now, but yeah, I taught her music and
So,
I met the Mannings, you know, at like the school concert and everything, and they were like, you know,
so you taught Arch Manning's sister is what you're saying. The guy who's going to be who's the new star quarterback at
yes,
the University of Texas,
her,
who's going to be a first round draft pick in the
yeah,
NFL.
yeah,
That's pretty cool.
his older sister, I think. It's crazy that like they're to think that they're like, you know, approaching 30 now. It's like, oh my god, I'm getting old.
I'm a big fan of the Manning brothers.
Yeah,
Really. I am.
yeah.
I'm a big fan. The whole family. I really am. And it's just one of those things, particularly Peyton Manning. But if I ever was able to find a connection to Eli Manning, I would love to have like one of those video recordings done for Peter for his birthday or something like that.
If you like
Yeah.
6'5", 230-pound quarterbacks, laser, rocket arm. Peyton's always been a great pitch man. It's one thing I've always appreciated about him. And Eli was just I mean, he embraced his inner dorkiness, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
They're all dorks, Peter. They're all dorks. Peyton Manning, I've never seen somebody more like self-deprecating and like so able to just roast himself than Peyton Manning. He's great.
I see a lot of chatters that are like, football is gay. We don't like the, but I just want to say that you know,
all right, David Todd, that's just mean. That's just mean to talk crap about Peyton.
I'm always, you know, I'm from New Orleans, so like the Saints are like everything down there, so I couldn't help it. Yeah.
Who dat?
I will say though, when I was there, I did go to the Manning Sports Bar. That place is awesome.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And have you been to the Grand or is it the Grand Isle restaurant? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's right around there,
dude. Right. I'm telling you, that's like some of the best seafood I've ever had in my life.
You ain't seen shit, okay, Peter? Let me tell you something. That's a tourist trap, and you don't know what you're talking about. All right,
come on, bro. There was a dish on that menu that is like crazy.
Wait, I have an important question. What year, like approximately, give me like a year span of when you would have graduated high school?
I graduated in 2004.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Well, just because I had a friend in college that was from Nolens, and his family was like old school, had been like very entrenched and Jewish. And there's not that, like, it's a pretty small community there. And so you never know. It's sort of like anywhere.
Well, you know, where the Mannings went to, Newman High School, is like a really like prominent Jewish high school and private school. And, you know, it's like of course, you know, one of the best schools in New Orleans. And that's where the Mannings went to. But look, I just want to say that I got you all beat. Okay. Reggie Bush liked my reel the other day, and I have been on cloud 9 ever since. All right.
Cool. I once had Deion Sanders like one of my posts when I was.
Fuck you, Peter.
My sports fundraising company. Yeah, this is way back when. But
unless these things can get us a donation to our PAC, I don't care. You know what I mean?
True. Jen unleashing her inner Jew by just saying, "Hey, it's all about the Benjamins." He ain't gonna
making Jew jokes. This shots fired. Okay, that's a.
I'm anti-Semitic. I embrace. Well, actually, no. I mean, I don't know what I am. I just know that I'm hated.
You would be considered a self-loathing Jew. You just don't want to admit it because you're too self-loathing.
No, I'm Jewish blood on my mother's side. I'm Catholic on my father's side. So it's like I don't have to be anything. I can just be whatever I want, and I can make fun of everybody equally. That's how I look at it.
Look, no matter what you think you are, just know that you are most certainly a goy. There's no escaping that. We are all.
You're all goy.
Apparently, if we're opposing, you know, Israel and the Zionists, you know, that's how they think of us. So hey, we'll adorn that label and wear it.
I've recently labeled myself Christ following atheist.
Very good. Okay. Yeah. I think I saw you say that. And
it seemed to really fit. I was listening to John Fugelsang was our guest. He has a book out called Separation of Church and Hate, and it's really good.
Ooh.
And it was really good. Just talking about how, how they totally take Christian and they turn it into, we hate gays, women can't have abortions, like that whole, it's really against that, but
yeah.
And I'm like, really, I am a Christ following atheist, and it just all clicked.
I mean, when you think about it, like Jesus Christ, these influential religious figures, they all kind of teach the same thing. I know that's probably, I don't know.
In theory, yes.
Yeah, it's almost blasphemy to say that, but yeah, I could totally see. What they were doing was just preaching about being a good person. So I could see you could be like a Christ following atheist. I get it. So anyway, thank you for joining my stream this time. That's very nice. And now I had the ball's in my court. Okay. I was just asking Jen, and I'll ask the same question to Peter. First, just a disclaimer. I usually start the stream by just going through my Twitter reposts, and it's like we just go through and just react real quick, because most of my audience has ADHD anyway. So you got to keep it.
It's okay. Peter's up there with you. So go ahead.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
He doesn't sit still for 5 seconds unless he's streaming and pontificating. When else do you sit still? When else are you not listening?
I mean, I've always been athletically inclined, so I'm
when else are you not pacing?
That's what I just said. I said I'm athletically inclined, so I'm always pacing. I'm always on the move.
Yeah.
So it's like sitting still is not like the easiest thing, but I zone in when I'm
right. You see what I'm saying?
Well, let me just ask you, Peter, I feel like I've been spending each day waking up, learning more about these emails. New emails are coming to light every day. I'm going through my Twitter. I'm seeing all this new information, and I just, everybody's talking about the Epstein files. I just figure, what's your biggest takeaway? I just asked Jen what was the most striking thing that you've learned in this latest Epstein files tranche. So I don't know what struck you the most throughout all this. So
honestly, not that much. It's kind of what we expected. We're ruled by extremely depraved individuals who do not care if the United States completely collapses. And that is a hallmark of something that goes back to a film that I have not seen, but was in 1975 called Network. And there's a very poignant scene with Ned Beatty, and I forget the other character, but basically what they're talking about is that when it comes to the rich and the elites, there are no countries, there are no nation states. They don't exist. For them, it's money and power by any means necessary, wherever you can get it. And if that means sinking this country into the seventh circle of hell, then so be it.
Yeah.
If the next country on the rise is Brazil, China, India, doesn't matter. Most of these people, they don't even care to really live in the States anyway. They got their little islands, no pun intended, where they just go off and live their lives. The average person cannot wrap their head around what real wealth and power is and what that looks like.
It's a good answer, and something that I try to stress on this stream a lot is that theme of like international finance capitalism supplanting and superseding all ideas of nationalism. There's no allegiance to any country really, and Robert Maxwell was one of those people that spelled that out too. He thought of himself as a cosmopolitan billionaire who didn't really have one country that he pledged allegiance to. I guess maybe if there was one of all, it would be Israel, which was apparently the one that neutralized him. But anyway, I think what we'll do is we'll just start off and we'll just go through the Twitter posts and get you guys to react, and we'll talk about it a little bit. And let me add to that. Look at that. Look at how professional I am. So for those keeping score at home, Epstein files mentioned Trump 38,000 plus times. Of course, Trump says the Epstein files got nothing.
They totally didn't mention me, and you're just making things up. And if you don't stop, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm just telling you. Believe me.
Yeah, he said Epstein files, quote, got nothing on me. And I find that to be absurd because it has everything on him. Some of the worst, most vile details that have come out to light in the Epstein files has to do specifically with Trump and his actions. But yeah, I just thought this was an interesting post because it goes through all the billionaires and how many times they're mentioned. And then look, trans people and drag queens, 0 times.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I always thought that Branson was a creep. I always got that vibe from him.
I get that from all the billionaires, to be honest with you. I really do. There is something about the level of depravity that's required to get to that point in the first place in terms of how you treat people and what you're willing to do and what you're willing to ignore and look the other way. So I think that by the time you get to that point, you're dealing with a certain level of psychopathy. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I also think that there is just different levels of that depravity. Like, what are people really interested in? What is their motivation? I see somebody like Elon. I just see somebody who's just whether it's autism or Asperger's or whatever it is, there's like a part of his brain that when it comes to things like SpaceX and Tesla, he's a genius. Like, he is. But when it comes to interpersonal communication, he's like a toddler. Like, there's something to be said for, and he's also stunted as far as I'm concerned in that age, because you could tell that guy didn't get laid until he was probably in his 20s. And as a result of that, you see the type of women that he boosts. Like, just again, I'm not trying to be stereotypical here, but if you look at the type of women that have no real credentials whatsoever, but he likes the way they look and he boosts their posts on social media, it's that adolescent dork who made it in a big way because of his father, and is now, he's trying to like relive his youth, so to speak. That's why he's impregnated how many freaking women? But at the end of the day,
and here's the thing, and we talked about this the other day, and this is something that I think might be, I have this weird feeling about him that when we say impregnate, I think it's clinical. I think that he pays women to have his offspring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think that he necessarily is ever with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you mean like that's
very, very weird about that.
You think he mails over vials of his semen?
Well, I don't think that he uses like the UPS or anything. I mean, I think but I think they're contracted like surrogates, kind of. Yeah, like in that capacity. I do. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
He uses the cryo lab at Zorro Ranch probably to get all that done.
Hey, and that's another thing. And I was just watching Sabby, who mentioned, notice when Trump keeps saying he's never been to the island, he doesn't mention he's never been to any of the other Epstein properties.
Right. Although I did hear that he denied going to the townhome in Manhattan, like he's never. Is that true that he ever said?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah, which is a complete lie. Like he's, so many victims have testified that he was there. At the very least, he was at Epstein's townhome.
But the problem is that it's like, and you look at somebody like Elon, and he nowhere even scratches the surface of the most depraved billionaires that are out there. And I mean, when Jen made this great graphic of, I forget what small emasculated man, whatever that was called.
The memes where they're the Napoleon complex.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like, to me, Bezos and Gates are so much worse. I mean, just the things that clearly he's into, and what Bezos just pulled at the Washington Post, and basically canning. So he's in the process, Jen, of canning 600,000 Amazon workers for robots. That's what he's doing. Man of the people.
Right.
Big man of the people.
Hardly.
And he's going to probably make even more money as a result, because that's all that drives it.
Well, just to continue going through the reposts here, the government of the United States are actively deleting Epstein files. If you guys haven't noticed, apparently people have been sharing this, how when they search certain names, on different days, the number keeps dwindling. It was at 5,300. Here it's at 4,800. Now it's at 4,877. And that's been a growing trend. So they've released the files, and then now that we've noticed the noticing has become too great, so they're trying to scrub the files from the from the record. So it's kind of anti-Semitic.
Oh man,
that's brutal. I'm never getting that out of my head.
Pizza the Hut.
Oh my God! That's good. God, man, put that away. That's just horrible.
I had to do that. I had to gross out the chat. That's
Well,
Donald Trump.
Pizza is gonna send out for you.
Pizza the Hut.
You know, the thing is that a lot of people there's screenshots now. A lot of people took a lot of screenshots when they were able to see the files that have since been scrubbed. So the information is out there. The problem is I just don't think it matters. That's like what I was saying. Like they have all of this information and they're choosing not to call any sort of other further inquiry, do an investigation, have a trial, have a prosecution. They're doing nothing. Right. So what difference does it make if we have screenshots or if it's actually live on the internet?
You got the assistant attorney. You got Blanche coming out saying, "Yeah, we're not doing anything."
They're not doing anything.
Did y'all see some Good Samaritan created a website called jmail.world, and it's as if you're logging into Jeffrey Epstein's email, and you get to it. They've organized all of the emails that have been released into like an email format, and you can scroll and like type in, how many times Goyim is mentioned, and then it pulls up all the emails with that, or how many times this person's mentioned. Have y'all seen that?
No.
Oh man, it's really good. We were taking a look at that yesterday.
Wow.
So let's just go through some of these emails. It says an Italian entrepreneur, Tancredi Salvatore Marchiolo, is discussing torture with Epstein in this email, and he says, "Do you want me to try to do her or just torture her?"
Wait, but see where it says on, and then
on Friday, yeah.
And then is that a date? Is that what?
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't notice that.
Why would you redact a date?
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
What is that, or what else could on be? It might not be a date.
Maybe it's code. Is that what you're saying?
Or maybe it's something
like
physical.
I don't know. Well, if you look below on the second line, it says, "Do you want me to try to do her or just torture her on Fridays?"
I mean, it's just like you get these emails and you're like, what the fuck were these people doing? Of course, we know what they were doing, but here's a picture of a 5-year-old boy who spent more time in jail than any of the politicians in the Epstein files. Who is this again? Do y'all know?
I forget his name.
Is this from ICE or something?
He and his father were kidnapped from Minneapolis and taken down to a detention center in Texas, mind you, where I don't believe they were separated. I do believe that the two of them were together, but held hostage nonetheless in Texas for a few days until that. Like, I know that Joaquin Castro was there and facilitated them getting released. Yeah. But yeah.
Well, it looks a lot like a Hamas agent, so I get why they were.
Is it the bunny ears or the Spider-Man backpack?
I'm not sure. I think it's the whole ensemble right there, of course. This is really crazy to me. Did y'all see that apparently Zorro, so Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch has a trust, and that trust won an $80 million lottery ticket. Did y'all hear about this? And so this guy, I'm like, how the hell, like, of all, the billionaires win the lottery? Like, what is this rigged? And this guy says it. He says, "Told you the lotto's rigged. Winners are chosen by the CIA to fund illicit operators." And it says here, Zorro Trust belonging to Epstein won an $80 million lottery ticket in New Mexico. I mean, what is that about? It's crazy, right? Here's Putin talking about the vampires ball. I'm sure y'all saw that clip where he's like, he's
Well,
basically
Peter,
saying that I'll just read the quote. Over centuries, they got used to. He's talking about the West. The West got used to stuffing their bellies with human flesh and their pockets with money, but they must understand the vampire's ball is coming to an end. That's from 2024. I swear, every time I see Putin clips, it's always him telling the truth. It's so wild. I haven't seen him tell a lie yet.
No,
So-
I actually find him to be, and again, I am not with him. I am not for him. I do not have a horse in that race other than I just like sane people in charge of stuff. But he's definitely so much more of a statesman,
Right.
than we have had in a long time in this country.
You heard it here first, folks. Jen Perelman is a Putin apologist. I wouldn't have guessed
Not
it.
Well, Jen Perlman
He's just another oligarch. Okay, let's be real. He just has
Yeah.
to speak another language. I don't care one way or the other. I'm just saying,
Right.
he's so much more capable, and he is just so much more, or at least capable presenting, much more collected, much more. I mean, he just
Yeah.
comes off like somebody who you would think would be in charge.
Yeah.
And our president is our president.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is our president, most unfortunately. So, we see that mainstream media is now trying to paint Epstein as some Russian spy, even though we've seen Epstein himself in these emails say that he works for the Rothschilds. He's telling Steve Bannon that all roads lead to Tel Aviv. And in this FBI unclassified report, according to the FBI itself, they acknowledge that Jeffrey Epstein, it says here at the very bottom, that he was trained as an Israeli spy by the former prime minister of Israel, Ehud Barak. It's really hard to see here, but it says it in this little last little paragraph. But that's, of course, the mainstream media is not going to be reporting that, of all things. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I hope this is real. A whole ad for a bus stop is quoting one of Elon Musk's emails.
Oh, that's awesome.
What day/night will be the wildest party on your island? Love that.
Wow.
I like that Elon is like that one guy that they're like, oh, we don't really want Elon at the party.
I know he was too weird and too autistic for the pedophiles. Anyway, let's see. We got something from China. Let's see. Revolution. Oh, this is a good quote, and it goes with your page, I think, too, because you guys are revolutionary change,
Mm-hmm.
And this is a Chinese. It's almost like a Confucius quote. I don't know, but it says, "Revolution begins with yourself. An egg broken from the outside is food, but an egg broken from the inside is new life." Now that is a very good metaphor, I think. So moving on, Elon went from no one is pushing for the files to be released more than me to now Elon saying it's a liberal hoax. He just retweeted someone saying the Epstein files is a Democrat hoax perpetuated on the American people.
Okay, can I just say one thing?
Please.
As I'm sure you have been paying close attention as I have when it comes to these. Okay, can you click on the Simpsons?
Yeah.
Oh, no, of course, Peter has to talk about the Simpsons.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, we are millennials. You're Gen Z. You have or Gen X. You have to accept. I was about to pay you a compliment, and then you just pulled back.
Wow! Fights, shots fired.
If you are a millennial, this was our TV show. We actually had a few, but this was probably the primary one, along with Married with Children, a couple of others sprinkled in. No one cares about Jeffrey Epstein. What'd he say? I don't know. Something about being a pedophile.
Well, The Simpsons, apparently, I don't know. Somebody was saying
everything.
What's that?
The Simpsons predicted everything.
Well, but people are saying that the Simpsons creator, Matt Groening, is in the Epstein files.
Yeah. One thing that I've learned.
I don't know to what capacity, but
yeah, the political odyssey that I've learned since Jen and I started really doing this back in 2019, 2020, is that the more you're involved, the more you realize that nothing surprises you. It shouldn't. because there's a reason why for so long, so much of what we thought, what we believed, it never made any sense. And then once you started unwrapping why things are the way that they are, why, again, you're in the entertainment industry, so this would be a good example. When you would hear certain people, whether they were up and comers or trying to stay relevant, you would hear about people converting to Judaism, becoming, dating somebody who's Jewish. And it was done in such a gratuitous way that you often had to wonder, well, why are they talking about this? What about the person who converts to Islam? What about the person who converts to Catholicism? You never hear about any of that. But when you hear specifically about Judaism, and it's done in a very obnoxious, overt kind of way in the entertainment world, it's almost like a rite of passage is essentially what they're doing. And so when you learn that there is this rules for the Zionists or Jews, and then there's rules for the Goyim, and they actually put it in writing, like the commissioner of the NBA, which never surprised me in the least, because anyone who's been a basketball fan in the 80s, 90s, even up and through the last decade or two, would probably suspect that the league had intentionally done certain things to facilitate certain outcomes. When you read that from the commissioner, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. That checks.
Yeah, and I think it's like an epic gaslight when they accuse us of othering the Jews. We're othering the Jews. And then you find out, you read these Epstein files, and it's like, no, they've been othering us. That's the whole point. They othered us, and then they gaslit us into othering them. I mean, it's their game. This is exactly the kind of game that they play, up to their old tricks. But yeah, no, you're exactly right. There's some clips here too I want to play. I think I don't know if this is a recent. Let me see if I can find it. It's
Deepak. Yeah, I heard he was all in the Epstein files.
Who?
Deepak Chopra. Not surprised.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, boy is he. In fact, I saw that one email where he's like, God is a construct, but cute girls are real, and then it gets worse. There's some other.
Yeah, I was the only one that I read. But I'm sure it does get worse.
No, I just saw another one where it's like even longer of an exchange. Here's the clip I was looking for. Bill Gates.
Another one. So gross. He gives his wife VD.
Yeah.
And then tries to secretly drug her with antibiotics so that she doesn't find out.
I would love to get her in an interview and get more, because she apparently cited Bill Gates's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein as being an impetus for their divorce.
Yeah, when she was on with Gayle King at one point in an interview.
I'll tell you.
And she did say that. And in fact, I saw a clip of that just earlier today. And if you watch that clip, she says everything you need to hear without saying.
Oh, really?
Okay. If you watch that clip, the way she's extremely politically correct in how she answers the questions, you get everything you need to know.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if this is like a recent clip of Bill Gates, like if it was this an interview he gave within the past few days because of the blowback from this latest release. But let's see. I haven't seen the clip. I just reposted it.
No, apparently Jeffrey wrote an email to himself. That email was never sent. The email is false. So I don't know what his thinking was there. It just reminds me, every minute I spent with him, I regret, and I apologize that I did that.
No, you
don't. It's actually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. And so, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior. No,
just wait.
He's going to go that way with this. He's going to actually try that. All right.
If there is one thing that James O'Keefe would be good for, is probably getting his medical records and proving that he gave Melinda Gates a STD.
Who's that?
From that expose channel. The name's slipping me right now.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about they did an expose on Bill Gates. And
I'm saying that if anybody, if he's out there and he's spewing this bullshit, and it's amazing how you got all the money in the world, and yet that's the best excuse your attorney could come up with for you to say.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is going to happen is that the drips are going to come even more. It's almost like you almost get the sense that Anonymous is behind this and they've got the goods. And the fact that he's out publicly saying something like this, Project Veritas. That's it.
Okay.
So this is a circumstance where somebody is going to get a hold of those medical records and release them and prove that he gave Melinda Gates a sexually transmitted disease.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's he going to say? How's he going to talk his way out of that one?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty incriminating. I don't know what email he's referring to, but is it the one about the Russian girls? Because apparently he, got these STDs from Russian hookers.
I don't know. He's ridiculous if he thinks he's going to deny that any of his interaction with Jeffrey Epstein had nothing to do with this salacious business.
Right.
Right? Like it wasn't that. But yet his ex-wife said that when she met Epstein for the very first time, that he was evil incarnate. That's her words. Evil incarnate. Now, this is spoken by someone who hangs out in the elite billionaire pedophile ring of people. And
Right.
she said that Epstein felt like evil incarnate. What does that mean? And he continued to be friends with him and have relations with him, even though his wife left him over it.
Right. Oof.
And he's saying like it wasn't because of the women or the girls. I'm sorry, girls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more to this story for sure. I just wonder when are they going to release the videos? That's the next step. I thought this was a good metaphor for Elon Musk's how he's trying to finagle his way through this controversy. This says McDonald's begged me to get fast food at the drive-thru, but I never ate it. Come on, that's pretty funny. Sort of. All right, maybe not.
I wouldn't think, given the size of that belly, he's eating it.
Listen, you should not be eating McDonald's food. It's very bad for you because they put a lot of bad additives and things in there that if you were to eat it in Europe and Asia, they wouldn't be there. So let's make America healthy again.
That's right. All right, let's see. This is a clip of let's see. It is well worth exploring whether there might be a genuinely ominous backstory. So this is Andrew Marr putting forward the possibility of a Russian connection to Jeffrey Epstein's criminal activity.
The files released show more. Let me begin tonight with something that I think is even more important, even more extraordinary. Growing suspicions of a Russian connection. Epstein had apparently limitless supplies of money. Where did it come from?
We know.
Yeah. Came from Israeli Zionist billionaires, I'm pretty sure. And
wasn't it Wexner?
Yeah, like Les Wexner, exactly.
Oh, wait, are we really doing Russia again?
They really are.
Is that what they're pulling out at this point?
Yeah.
It's like, don't look at the pedophile. Oh, look, Russia.
Dude, I was just talking about this, how mainstream media is trying to allege that Epstein is a Russian asset, even though he's very much come out as an Israeli spy, and it's all very clear who he's working for.
Many young Russian girls. Why was that so easy for him? The files released show more than 1,000 documents which referred to Vladimir Putin, and 9,000 referring to Moscow.
Okay, well, there's 38,000 referring to Donald Trump.
The FBI says that he was Putin's wealth manager. Epstein filed all of his messages.
No, the FBI says that Jeffrey Epstein was training as an Israeli spy under Ehud Barak, the Israeli prime minister.
He filmed and taped powerful Western leaders in deeply compromising situations. Why? Doesn't it make you wonder at least about the possibility of a KGB operation big enough to ensnare former presidents and prime ministers and the leaders of some of the world's most powerful companies? I know, this all sounds impossibly sensational, conspiratorial, a James Bond villain plot in real life. But there is so much smoke billowing out of one of the most extraordinary establishment crises in my lifetime that it is well worth exploring whether there might be also a genuinely ominous backstory.
Yeah.
Let me begin.
Imagine, if you will, a complete lie concocted by the mainstream media.
Well, you have to take it seriously when a Brit is telling you that something very serious and rudimentary has happened. So, of course, if they say it's the Russians and not the Israelis, you have to believe them, despite the fact they are all Zios over there in London. But when I went to Ireland, believe me, they were all waving their Palestinian flags, which is why I felt right at home with my people. And of course, in Scotland,
Your people. Those are your people.
these are my people. But Scotland, as you know, they support the Palestinian cause as well.
Peter, I felt like your accent got better over time there. Towards the end, it was
I was
really
jumping
getting.
in and out of a few different ones.
Yeah, no, that was good. You found you.
British
you
to
found your-
Irish to Scottish.
Yeah. Can't maintain it all at once. It's a little hard to do.
But-
The Belfast accent is very interesting. It's like a cross between British and Irish. It's
Oh,
interesting.
really?
Oh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't know. But it's like the Cold War never ended. I mean, Russia has always been the scapegoat, and they're just like, let's just keep leaning on the let's keep replaying the hits, you know?
You know what's interesting is that, yes, when it comes to the narrative, we're still in this Cold War with Russia. But when it comes to everything we're doing with policy overseas and global, like everything we're doing, it has to do with this new Cold War with China.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like that seems to be much more dictating the policy of what we're doing regarding things like Venezuela and what's going on in, Sudan and what, every way we're connected to that. To me, it's like we're just trying to block China from its
Yeah.
inevitable takeover as the global economic hegemon.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, and these policies that we're doing, they're not new. We've been doing these for many decades and even centuries, and look at where we've gotten with that. I mean, we've emboldened China, right? So it's just funny that we think that doubling down on these policies that have led to China's rise is going to somehow save us, by
Exactly.
strong arming these countries in Latin America and across the world. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It all leads back to our trade war with China, and we're losing.
We're losing, period.
Yeah.
Trump is actually facilitating it, which I knew he would. I've been saying this for years. Trump facilitates the revolution because Trump facilitates the implosion of empire.
Yeah.
But how much of this do you attribute to just the average American choosing to be ignorant, as much as it is the way that the system is constructed that kind of creates the ignorance? How do you think it's a kind of an equal balance?
Say that again.
When it comes to the reason, there are many reasons why the empire is collapsing in the United States, but one of the main reasons it's happening is because the average American has a certain sense of ignorance and arrogance about them, American exceptionalism, if you will. And this crosses all political spectrums, from the over-woke, over-educated liberals of the big coastal cities to the, just church-centered, not as educated conservatives that live in the heartland in the South and places like that. And this belief that things are always going to work themselves out in the end. I think that there is equal parts responsibility for the system that's done it to the American people, but also the American people choosing not to question how things are. And by the time they start to question it, it's too late, because that's the phase we're entering now.
I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, I agree. I kind of wish I did, so I could offer something that would be interesting conversation, but really you just kind of.
Oh no, I mean, we're all well, as Jen likes to say, none of us are getting out of here alive. So it just depends on how painful it's going to be when it's all said and done. I think that the only way out of this, and I mean the only way out, is revolution. And I'm not afraid to use that word. I think that there are a lot of different ways that revolution can come. As a prime example, we've been talking about what's going on in Minneapolis, and regardless of whether you support ICE or not, when you know what the parameters are for ICE and why they do what they do, and why there have been thousands of stories of people who are American citizens getting either roughed up or arrested by ICE, there's a reason. They have a quota, and the only way they get paid is if they meet their quota. And if they don't meet their quota, they don't get paid. And
Mhm.
so what do you expect? Especially with guys who want to freaking play commando. At the end of the day, they gleefully do this shit. And when people are questioning, well, why is this happening? It's like, because there's money involved. Of course there is. What other reason would there be? They want to verify whether a person's a legal citizen or not. They don't give a shit.
You're right. They've got a quota to hit. It's all
Yes.
by design. Let's switch now, and I have a Discord where a lot of my chatters here can share
Okay.
links. So we're gonna see what they've been posting. This looks like, speaking of ICE, this is a new maybe it's a new interview on Trump. It's Trump talking about ICE. Let's
Mr. President,
take a look.
speaking of Minneapolis, what did you learn?
I learned that maybe we can use a little bit of a softer touch, but you still have to be tough. These are criminals. We're dealing with really hard criminals. But look, I've called the people. I've called the governor. I've called the mayor, spoke to them, had great conversations with them. And then I see them ranting and raving out there, literally as though a call wasn't made. We've done a great job everywhere. The only place there's been a little inflammation has been really, it's not Minnesota, because we've done well with
Los
crime.
Angeles, too. There's
It's
been
been-
others. Yeah.
Well, I saved Los Angeles. The top law enforcement officer, right at the beginning when we were having riots.
He saved Los Angeles, guys. Thank you, Donald Trump.
Well, how many wars did he stop? Remember, he's on a mission.
Well, if you've been
He
counting,
stopped 8 wars, but he can't name like 6 of them.
excuse me.
I don't even think he knows where these countries are.
No.
We're totally up to 9 wars now. If you can count 9 wars, I stopped the war in Minneapolis. That could have been a really big civil war, and I stopped it. I'm the one who did it. Where is this being filmed? Because this looks like it could be the White House.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, look at all the gold behind him.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
I was going to say. He put
Yeah.
gold on everything.
Yes, he did.
And it carried into me. If I didn't go in there with the National Guard, with troops, you wouldn't have the Olympics, which I got. I got the Olympics. You wouldn't have the Olympics in Los Angeles. And he said, without the president sending in the troops, we would have lost Los Angeles. And you know what? I saved Los Angeles. And we will do it again if we have to. And by the way, we're going to have a very safe Olympics, and we're going to have a very safe World Cup.
Wow. I thought that was it. I think the interesting takeaway for me is the fact that he actually admitted maybe I could have used a softer touch, because he wasn't really prepared for all this blowback from ICE in Minneapolis, but obviously with the murders, he's had to pull back a little bit. I feel like they've been tested. They've used Minneapolis like a testing ground, just like they do to a bigger degree in Gaza. But what do you guys think? You think he learned some things through all this, through the Minneapolis controversy?
Are you asking me if I think that Donald Trump can learn from mistakes, learn from behavior, correct, admit any sort of wrongdoing, have any accountability? No. Nor does he care to. He could not care less. He just goes with whatever the people whispering in his ear are telling him to do to just sort of maintain what he has to maintain. So if it's getting rid of Bovino or whatever, and bringing in Roman, who's just as big a piece of crap.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't care. He hasn't learned anything. He's just quieting down certain areas because the press coverage is bad.
Yeah. But, you're right. And I think he's going to ratchet it up over time, get back to where he was. But I think, he's definitely had to make some sort of political maneuvering here. Like you said, with the ousting of Greg Bovino, it's all very symbolic. It's all very notional. It doesn't really change anything, but it's a signal that he understands he went too far, and he's got to do something to smooth things over for some time until he can pick another city to bully.
Well, Bovino's the
first
sacrifice, right? So Bovino's the first sacrifice.
And that's something
that Noem will be number 2. Kristi Noem will be the next person to go.
You think so?
Yeah. She'll be their next sacrifice. She's not long for this. Most of the people I think that Trump has in places, with the exception of maybe Marco Rubio, I think are just so over their head. like just so unbelievably have no idea what, and again, I'm not a fan of Marco Rubio by any stretch.
Well, I don't
But
think anybody is.
We're making a lot of great choices, a lot of great decisions. The people, they just need to listen. And if they obey, then they're going to be fine. If they don't obey, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. And, we saved Los Angeles. We saved the Olympics. The Olympics are great. They're going to be great this year. Not many people are going to show up, but that's why it'll be safe. We're going to have a really great time. And I think
it'll look like his birthday parade.
Well, listen, my birthday parade was a really special one. Don't you rain on it.
His military birthday parade or whatever.
It was a really great party. And if you think you've seen a great party, you ain't seen nothing yet. You wait till the 4th of July. You see, I remember that date. It's going to be a special day. We are honoring 250 incredible years as the greatest empire in the history of the world. And it'll be another 250 years that will be on top. If you heard it, remember it. That's the way it's going to be.
Please clap for Donald Trump, everyone. He remembered the day of independence was July 4th for the country that he runs. That's just incredible.
I'm surprised he hasn't changed it to his birthday.
The new Independence Day, yeah.
Well, you even said, Jen's been saying for a while that, you don't think he's going to survive. You don't think he'll live.
I don't think he's going to survive. And also, just for the record, my friend and our production assistant, Rachel, thinks that if he's given the opportunity for the 4th of July this year, he's going to try to add his name.
Oh, my God.
That's her prediction. And she's going to try to add his name to the Declaration of Independence.
I'm not
she said it. Look, we're looking at certain maps and places that say Gulf of America. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah. Well, what makes you say that he's not going to survive? Can you expand upon that? What do you mean he's not?
I just think he's in very poor health.
Oh.
And I just know, and as somebody who has parents at that age who are in good health, I know how hard things are for them. And just you age exponentially. He doesn't take care of himself. He eats horribly. He's been getting all sorts of stuff infused into his hands. They're swollen. He's got cankles from probably kidney failure. He's clearly demented. He has fecal and bladder incontinence.
I want to ask you about that. Did he really shart? Did you? Yeah. Was that real?
Here's what we know. We know that we heard a sound and that there was a smell. Now, whether or not it was a fart or a shart, we do not know for sure. But people have been saying that he stinks and smells
like a lot
like
of people have been saying
because he craps himself. And this is not the first time that something has come up like that, which is why so when you add up all these things in his age, it doesn't look good. He's had 2 MRIs that I know of, like within the past, 6 months or so that he's had, and he doesn't even know why he's getting them.
Yeah. He's like, I had the best MRI that you could possibly, the doctors just said the MRI was amazing.
Get an MRI.
Yeah,
okay?
Why are you getting an MRI though?
Exactly. Unless you've had a stroke, unless you've had certain things going on that you're following up with. Point being, when you add up all of his stuff, there's so many I don't think he's going to survive.
It's wishful thinking. I hope that it's true, but I also know that cockroaches live forever, and usually the worst humans, somehow they hang on for years. Like, look at Henry Kissinger, the guy.
I don't think I ever felt bad for insulting a cockroach like I do right now. Like, I'm sitting here and thinking they're prehistoric. They've earned some respect.
No. Okay. I'm from Louisiana. We hate cockroaches.
I don't like it either, but comparing them to Trump is a little mean.
Yeah, true. That's true. Cockroaches aren't guilty of mass murder and etc.
They don't hurt people. They're just gross.
Yeah. I just looked for the evidence. The evidence the other day showed that he was having some press conference in the Oval Office. And the next thing you know, they cut it short and they rushed people out of there. Like, get out. Yeah. And the only reason they would do that is if somebody was like, oh, he did it again.
I saw the clip and then that pandemonium and that chaotic moment after he sharted his pants, allegedly.
You can hear it. You can hear the audio.
You can hear it, but I wasn't sure if it's because people they didn't want to feel questions about Epstein, but
no, they wouldn't have acted like that. It was because the smell was going to be bad. It was they were trying to get them out before the smell.
Because they know, they're around Trump all the time. They're like, oh,
Absolutely.
Here we go again. So he's just known for smelling bad constantly.
Correct. You heard that King Charles basically had to fumigate the place after he was there, and that there were flies, that he brought flies with him.
How does that happen? You're one of the richest people.
No. There was, you have to look at, I mean, it didn't just come into my head. Like, I saw that there was something somewhere that mentioned that, but there was a smell about him, is what I have heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't feel bad for Melania. She got a good deal. She doesn't even have to live with him anymore.
It's true. Don't feel bad for Melania, says Jen.
No, she's on the money train, even if she, and the truth is she might have been trafficked too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows where a lot of these, I think people like Pam Bondi, Carolyn Levitt, Christy Nome, like, I feel like all of these people, anybody that came up through his pageant circuit, you know, Erica Kirk, like all these people, it's like, this is not normal. This is not normal.
Yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
No, go ahead.
Okay, fine. Shut up, Peter. I'm
Fuck
speaking.
off. Keep going.
No, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Erica Kirk was cut out of Charlie Kirk's will, like before he died, because she was apparently cheating on him. I mean, I don't.
Wait till it comes out with him.
Yeah.
See, that'll be real fun.
Yeah.
Is it Andrew Colvett? Is it JD Vance? Is JD Vance only into couches? We don't know.
Is it Rathbone? Maybe I had something to do with it. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, listen, you know, I think she's a decent looking girl. I don't think
she looks like Miss Piggy, and her veneers are horrible.
Peter, shut your mouth. Do not speak praise about Eric Kirk.
I like athletic women. What can I say? However,
she's some sort of like pawn asset.
Yeah, there's no question that she's a honeypot. I mean, it's too obvious. And listen, you know, I'm not, you know, again, not to, you know, poke at anybody's looks, but, you know, Charlie was punching way above his weight class, getting a woman like her. And as a result, you know, sometimes, I mean, listen, we've probably both known men in our respective lives that couldn't see straight with certain women. And, you know, we would try to warn them or advise them that, you know, this person's probably not the best person for you. They may be taking advantage of you. They may not have your best interests in mind. And I'm wondering if anybody, and this is also the problem with being around people that have a lot of money and a lot of power and influence, all anybody ever seemed to want to do around Charlie Kirk was just kiss his ass and just tell him how great he was, because they know that the money train was rolling in. That's one of the dirty little secrets when it comes to his assassination, is that alleged assassination. Got to put that out there for Jen. You've got basically two rules of thought here. The first one, of course, is that Israel.
Put that out there for me.
Or you don't think he's dead?
I think it's possible that him and Epstein are both alive. Yes, I do.
Okay. I think it's more likely that Epstein's alive.
I would believe in many directions. Let's say that. It wouldn't shock me.
Right? Yeah.
But in the case of Charlie, I think what you have here is a guy who was groomed from a very young age. He didn't fully understand what he got himself into. He had great oratory skills. Obviously, he ran quite the organization. I managed to stop by one of the Turning Point USA events back in, I think it was like 2019, 2020, something like that. And this was in Tampa. I just happened to be there at the same time. And it's obvious that he decided to kind of look around him one day and decide, am I really in control of all of this? And it turns out that no, he wasn't. And when he tried to take control of his supposed organization, the people who really controlled it basically told him, no, you're not in control. You're going to do as we say. And if you don't do as we say, well, you may not be around to enjoy the spoils of what you supposedly have created. Moving away from Israel put that into perspective. But at the same time, you also had people in the organization that were making money hand over fist. And we've seen this. We've seen this with countless organizations. We saw this in the last presidential election. How much money do you think these freaking people got their wheels greased when Kamala doled out $500 million with a B dollars to all of these consultants and people? Look at the shit that's going on in Texas right now. You think that, again, James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine, who was a guest on our show a handful of times, boy, did she show her true colors. What are they doing? They're running to be the bridesmaid. They're running to, you know, lose by 10 points in the Senate election in November. And why are they doing it? Because this is a grift. The entire fucking political system is one giant grift. And you see it every day. You see it from the shitbags, shit libs all day long. And then you see it from the scum suckers who lick Trump's balls all day, every day. And I could go through a line item of every single last one of those pieces of shit that do it for money. I don't have to name them. You know who they are. They don't have anything else going for them. So this is what they do. And all the while, we have no health care. We have no education. Our water's poisoned. Our air is completely contaminated. We have endless war. And of course, we are sinking into the seventh circle of hell when it comes to our economic and social status in the world. So why in the fuck are we not distracted? Why are we distracted from the realities of what's going on here? To me, when it comes to Charlie Kirk, it's clear as day. He had an organization that made a shitload of money that was a response to Obama's run in 2008. They had to come up with something to cultivate the youth on the conservative side. They did a decent job of it, and they eventually got Trump elected as a result. Now today, the organization is crumbling. But why did it happen? To me, it's pretty simple. He decided he wasn't going to be party to what Israel was doing anymore, and they decided to cap his ass. And Erica Kirk couldn't have been more gleeful to go along with it, because as far as I'm concerned, and I'm sure you are as well, it was always a setup. It was never real. The whole thing is a joke, and I just wish more and more people could see it. Okay, rant over.
That was epic. No, people are saying, I love when Peter gets angry.
I want to say, you have somebody in there. I think is it Hassan? I think it's Hassan Awad that said he's Palestinian in there. And then it's just something about, I gotta find it. But, and yeah, I am Palestinian and I am scarred by the genocide, and my people are being ethnically cleansed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's somebody in the chat right now. We do have a few people that are like a Palestinian.
And then somebody said I looked unstable. And then I just put in there, no, I'm high, but I'm not unstable. I mean, there's no, I feel stable.
Yeah.
Do I look unstable?
No, you look fine, Jen. Okay. And it's Peter that looks a little unstable. But
Peter is unstable. Someone said he looked like a product of Christopher Walken and Steve Buscemi, which is so funny because he does a good walk-in and he does look like
doesn't he? Looks like a young Steve Buscemi.
This coming from Zach Galifianakis.
Listen.
There you go.
People, no talking. Just listen. I appreciate the compliments. They're nice, friendly.
Sure.
I'm only here to be friends with smart people, good people. And I am the walrus, by the way. Got to get that in there for you.
I'm confused, but you said you want to be around smart people, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You're pretty smart.
And what's your name again?
Walken. Chris.
Oh, it's
Walken. I'm walking on sunshine.
So it's actually Chris Walken, Steve Buscemi. I get it. I could see it.
Oh, everyone says Peter looks like Steve Buscemi. He gets that a lot. And he also gets that he does kind of resemble Walken, which is kind of interesting because that I don't see. Maybe the hairline a little bit from like when Walken was younger.
Aren't you from New England? Are you from New York, Peter?
Jersey.
Oh, okay. I knew there was a reason I didn't like you. Now I remember.
Is that why? Is that the reason I like me?
Just kidding. Let's go back to the Discord and we'll take a look at some of the links that they're sharing here. These knuckleheads in the chat. This is another clip from the same interview. It says Trump says he's adjusting his mass deportations policy to only go into cities if the mayors or governors ask and say please, adding, I don't want to go and force ourselves into a city, even if their numbers are terrible.
So I want to be clear because it sounds like there is a shift in immigration enforcement here, that there's going to be a shift after Minneapolis. What should Americans expect going forward?
Well, one thing I say to my people, we do a good job. We don't get credit for it. I say they have to ask and they have to say please. When a city is
who has to ask and who has to say please?
Or the governor. I don't want to go and force ourselves into a city, even if their numbers are terrible.
Only if you say please.
Like, for instance, I got a call from Jeff Landry, governor of Louisiana. He said, we have a big problem. Could you go in and help us with let's see, certain sections. I mean, to be honest with you, certain sections of the state beyond their famous, beautiful city, certain
Is he referring to New Orleans?
I don't know. He must be, because really,
Mhm.
what else would he be referring to?
That's a perfect screenshot, by the way, with the got a this going on right there. No, what I think is happening is that if I don't put too much stock into one-off elections, but I will say that the state Senate election in Tarrant County, Texas, that went in favor of the Democrat the other day, that gave them pause. And now they understand that, yeah, this is causing us a problem. And if we don't figure out a way to back off of this to some degree, we're going to get wiped out in the midterms. It already looks pretty obvious to me that Plattner is going to beat Susan Collins. It's the only race that I would even pay any attention to right now that's of consequence, where it just looks pretty clear that he's probably going to figure out a way to win. And so as a result, I think that they're now thinking, well, could we actually lose both houses, both the House and the Senate? And if that were to happen, then I would say that the chance of impeachment just goes up substantially higher. Not that the Democrats are going to do anything good, but
Right. It's not like it's going to do anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
But I would definitely say that if you got somebody like Plattner in there, I would say that again, I look at it this way, and this is why I look at somebody like Zoran as a net positive. Are they going to facilitate the revolution? No, but they are much more likely to get out of the way of the revolution than others would. They would be like, hey, if that's what the people want, then that's what the people are going to get. I think that is the much more likely scenario. So if Trump is even for a second backing off, which it sounds like he is, it's because they understand that ICE is a losing issue. And now it's really a losing issue because of how they got shellacked in that Senate race the other day. So I would say that that's a big part of it.
Hey, same guy, 875. I appreciate you. Just putting that out there.
Let's see, where is that at? Somebody's talking shit?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It's just funny. It's a nice level of sarcasm. He does I just like how I like his sense of humor.
I appreciate that somebody in the chat said that my audio is awful. I totally forgot to put in my microphone.
I can't stem it because I'm not running the StreamYard. It's you. So he says, no one has ever been as healthy as Trump. World leaders call Trump every day to say he is the healthiest world leader ever.
Okay, that's what you call a shit poster. Let them have fun.
No, he's being sarcastic. It's funny.
Yes.
All right, let's watch the rest of this clip.
sections of the state. We have done, not only in New Orleans, we've done a really great job in Louisiana, but I was called. I want to be called. Chicago, we could solve the Chicago crime.
Well, on that question, which cities are you headed to next?
We have 5 cities that we're looking at very strongly, but we want to be invited. We will sometimes call the governors. And
Are
say,
they cities like Chicago, Philadelphia? Are these the cities?
Why does he think they're going to be invited? Like, it's so ridiculous.
We could straighten out the crime in Chicago. We've already brought it down 25% just by being there. We could have Chicago be a safe city, just like DC is a safe city, just like all of these places that we've gone to. And I look forward. I didn't campaign on that. Yeah. I campaigned on law and order, but
hasn't like ICE accounted for like 60% of the murders in Minnesota at this point in the new year?
Something like that. It's something. They are the violence.
Yeah, exactly. But no, they're there to keep the people.
I didn't think I'd be going into individual cities and making them safe.
Anything else you can tell us about the 5 cities? The 5 cities, anything else? So Americans are ready?
We'll be announcing them very quickly, but we could do something. As an example, I was called by people. San Francisco said, please, we have a Democrat mayor. He's trying very hard. Would you, friends of mine that live there, it's got crime problems. Would you let him do the job and not come in? Let's see how it works. I said, look, I can do it much quicker, much faster. Don't forget, we remove criminals. We took over 2,000 hardcore criminals out of Washington, D.C.
Can you go back to the Emilio or whatever the little boy's name that they keep reminding me, little boy with the bunny ears, the hardened criminals that he took care of? You know what I mean? Like when he says we took care of those criminals, that's what I'm thinking of is that little
Exactly. Yep. Defenseless kids.
If we didn't do that, 2% of the people create 90% of the crime. Think of that. 2%. So
that's true. Yeah. Actually, it's even smaller than that. It's probably like 0.0001% that create the crime.
Yes. And we know who they are.
Yeah. people like you, Donald Trump.
You have a criminal because it's over and over again.
Can you pause it for 1 second?
Sure.
Go back one slide when it's the two of them side by side.
Wait, go back like what? How many?
It's like a second or two.
Okay.
That 2% of the people create 90% of the crime. Think of that. 2%. So you have a criminal because it's
Right.
over and over again.
What is it?
Look at the physical body language between the two men.
Well,
Oh.
Trump always sits like that, but he has to lean forward. That's why he stands leaning forward also. That has to do with frontal lobe dementia. But this
Really?
has to do, the leaning forward when he's standing and that balance issue, the fact that he couldn't raise his hand properly in a there's all these different things that people have been noticing that are like, but this is just an aggressive seated posture. This isn't that when he's standing and leaning is very
It looks
different.
like he's seated at the toilet. That's the same posture that I have right there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Well,
hands out.
If there's one thing that Obama had on him in spades, Obama was always very cool under pressure. In any of these interviews, he knew exactly how to talk, how to sit, all that shit. And in the case of Trump, I mean, listen, Biden never showed up for any interviews, so that's a whole other story. But he does not look strong in this image. Like he looks weak, like very weak compared to this guy who I don't even know who's interviewing him. He does not project strength in any way, as far as I can see, or confidence for that matter.
He looks like a hunchback.
Again, 2% create 90% of the crime. We took out 2,000 people, more than 2,000 people out of Washington, D.C., and we now have a safe city.
So 5 cities. I wonder what those 5 cities sounds like. It's San Francisco, probably LA, Chicago, New Orleans.
Atlanta, Philadelphia.
You think that's the other 2 that round out?
Those are the 2 that I have heard. So I'm just saying that. So if we know the other 3, that's and you have what those all have in common is they're all blue cities.
Right.
And they all are run by people that he considers to be political enemies.
Is there such thing as a red city? I feel like all of these big cities are,
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly the point.
Not too many.
Not too many.
I mean, if you think about it, you've got a few that are out there. Like
I wonder if he would go. I don't see him going into Dallas.
No, it's not, and it's not even Dallas. It's Fort Worth, Arlington.
There, I don't see him going into.
Baton Rouge would be considered a red city. Mesa, Arizona is a red city.
But those aren't big cities. That's what
Irvine,
we're talking about.
California. Yeah, well, that's the point. You have small to mid-sized cities that would be considered red cities, but there's not a single metropolis in the United States that isn't a blue city. Like that doesn't exist. Everyone is blue.
That's why I left.
Where'd you go?
I am now in a red place.
You're in the
I am no
sunken
longer
place?
in South Florida. I am in Northwest Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I'm in actually Marjorie Taylor Greene's old district.
Holy, is that what are you? How does that feel? That you feel better that you've gotten out of Zioland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
really
you telling me that it's been a big problem for you.
Yeah, this is much more I wanted to be somewhere rural. So that's just, I'm somewhere rural. And when you're rural, you're generally someplace that's red. That's just reality. So it just goes with it. But you know what, honestly, I would rather be around the people in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district than the people in Debbie Wasserman Schultz's district. I would rather be around Trumpy people than elitist condescending libs. I just would. I mean, I feel like they're so much easier to be around.
Yeah. No doubt. I believe that too.
Are you bringing on Jen's favorite person in the world?
Yeah, well, apparently Laura Loomer is telling us that the Epstein files are being sensationalized by people who want to ignore the Islamic influence in our country. But Laura is here to expose the evidence showing that Jeffrey Epstein was in deep with Qatar's Al Thani family and flew to Qatar 2 days before the 2016 presidential election. Let's
If
see.
you follow me on X and you know over the weekend, I spent a lot of time going through these Epstein files and I was looking to see which other world leaders were there because, again, I'm not denying that there are Israelis or Jewish individuals within these Epstein files, but it's very one-sided. It's very one.
It is, isn't it, Laura?
It's yes. Why is that,
And it's
Laura?
not
Because
political. It's just based on the evidence. It is one-sided.
Let's play a game here. I got a game for you. I take one look at her face and I have to like move my like I have to stretch my facial muscles.
It's so
Because-
unfortunate.
It's just, I don't know if she's capable of blinking.
I don't. Do lizards blink? I don't know. I think she'll probably lick her eyeballs before she'll be able to blink. Right?
I find her so enraging.
Yeah.
Like really enraging. And another reason that it's better that I left Florida, lest I ever run into this person.
Is that where she is? She's located in Miami.
No, I think she's
no. She's by West Palm Beach.
Oh, pedophile heaven, paradise.
Well,
Decided
listen,
the way.
there's photos of her basically like groping Trump, like she can't get enough of like wrapping her hands around her. But I think with her, she's just overtly obsessed with money and power. Like she'll do anything for it.
Yeah,
including
she is apparently a Pentagon official. Like, isn't she like working for the Pentagon like in an official capacity? Is what I've heard.
I didn't know that. I just
I don't.
They call
I
her
don't,
like an advisor. I don't know.
Yeah.
She went to Barry University, people.
What is that?
Exactly.
Oh.
Okay. It's a small commuter college in North Miami and Miami Shores that people go to when they can't get into the University of Miami, or people that are more commuters.
Mm.
Yeah. So
she's
why is she so credentialed based on that? Like, I just don't understand what.
What was in the impetus to her rise to fame and relevance?
Well,
I just figure she's blown a lot of people.
Well, she's also the female version of Lil Ben Shapiro. They have so much hatred in their blood. They're so elitist. They're so Zionist. They're Jewish supremacists of the worst kind.
I agree. She looks like the Bogdan brothers, and I know who they're talking about. The Bogdan brothers, those two twins that had that so much plastic surgery, they look ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's horrifying.
And look at her, and look at the headline that she has at the crawl part of the screen: Democrat donors and global elites exposed in Epstein files. And I just think we should reiterate to everyone here that anybody that's trying to get you to believe that it's left versus right, they're taking your money. They're grifting you, and they're still trying to play one half of the corporate duopoly is the evil half, and the other half is good.
The other thing that this lady Danielle in the chat just pointed out, which is very important, Laura Loomer has a pass. She has a press pass to the White House press corps and the Pentagon. Like, you explain that logic.
Yes, that's what makes me say what I said.
Yeah, she's
obviously she is servicing someone in a position that grants her this access.
Oh, I don't think she's servicing someone. I think she's servicing.
Look, it only takes one person in the right position, is my point. She's performing or serving in some capacity to a person in a power position that has put her where she is. Because she's way too stupid to have gotten there based on like policy information and her legislative prowess. And she's just been like, she's absurd.
Andrew, you agree that we are convinced that there's no way that she has real support. Like, whatever support she has, it's pretty much farmed. You got like these bot farms and shit that will boost her posts and throw it out there. I honest to God, who in the ever-loving heck would like somebody like her? Like, what is the redeeming qualities there where someone says, I really need to hear what Laura Loomer has to say about this topic?
Yeah, maybe she doesn't have real people. Maybe it is like Ben Shapiro where she has to pay for them, or someone else, or her sugar daddy pays for them. Who knows?
Hey, that's 2 times you've referenced my name. Be careful.
She's going to sue.
No, we can't play our video, Peter, because we're not in our studio.
That's a good point.
Is that trouble you, Jen? Would you rather be in your studio than my studio?
It's
Is
just,
that what you're trying to say?
no, we have this thing where if Peter says Ben Shapiro 3 times, that
Oh,
video plays of Ben Shapiro getting knocked out by a speed bag that he was punching.
ooh, yeah. That's a classic. We love
Yeah.
that.
So yeah.
I don't know if y'all saw this, but Saeed, a beautiful chatter, gifted you
I
guys.
love Saeed.
That's awesome.
Do you know that baby, just so you know, Rathbone, that baby's name is Mohi.
Wait, who?
Mohi, the baby in that picture.
The one that with the. Wait, I'm confused. The
Baby
one.
with the man, the Saeed who just donated the memberships. His
Oh.
yeah. See, that's baby Mohi.
You know his
That's
name?
baby. Yeah, because he
I
donates
didn't even know
memberships like that to us. Yeah.
He's never told. He told you what his kids' names are?
Well, I asked, I said, I need to know who's, I call it a punam. Do you know what punam means? It's like in Yiddish, it's like it's the face. Like your bubby would go, let me kiss the punam, right? Like then so when I saw that face, I said, what's that baby's name? And he told me a long time ago, his name's Mohi, which is not short for Muhammad. It's just his name is Mohi.
See, I would have thought for sure it was Muhammad because it's an Arab we're talking about. So
you see, he's saying, yeah, Jen has this thing called memory wrath. And by the way, for the person who thought I was unstable, this is for a pothead.
That's right. She does that on stream, which is pretty based, I have to say. I'm like, wait, is Jen lighting up right now? I'm like, hell yeah.
Oh wait, I can't where I am right now because I'm in an Airbnb. So I've definitely been. Yeah,
got to go outside.
Got to step outside in the freezing cold in order to do it.
For now, wait, no. But Rachel was smart, and we got this electric blanket, and there's this outlet outside, so we sit outside with the electric blanket on our legs and smoke bongs.
With your bongs. That's so cute and wholesome. I love that.
So what's the gin and tonic lady have to say now?
The gin and tonic lady. Let's see what else is in this clip.
That these accounts online are sensationalizing that information. I mean, why are we not allowed to talk about other world leaders who are mentioned in these Epstein files?
Aw. Like what other world
Turns out
leaders?
members of the Al-Thani family were very close with Jeffrey Epstein. I posted several tweets about it. In fact, you can see here, I posted Jeffrey Epstein communicated with Qatar's ruling family about the Muslim Brotherhood and visited Qatar 2 days before the presidential election in 2016. Jeffrey Epstein's private plane was invited to land in Doha.
So her evidence is like, look at this tweet that I made. This is all the evidence that you need to know that there is this cabal Qatari network.
Qatar by Sheikh Jabor bin Yusuf bin. These names are just so ridiculous. My God. Bin Jassim bin Jabor Al.
Oh my gosh, she's being.
Oh my God! Like
these
seriously,
names.
The caucasity of this.
Yeah, the subtle racism, right?
Oh, their names.
I can't believe she's being made to read these names of these Arabs.
I'll tell you one thing.
Ridiculous.
There's one thing we know for sure. That podcast studio that she operates out of, that ain't cheap.
Yeah.
So however which way she was able to put that together.
Again, same way.
Working
same
overtime.
Way. All
Overtime.
the same way. Okay.
Overtime.
I think I see what you guys are insinuating, that she maybe performs sexual favors in exchange.
Now, what would give
funding?
you such an idea?
I'm just saying, I don't see how it's for her intellect. It's not from her credentials. It's not from her intellect.
Well, that's the thing, is that they
from some aristocratic family. So what is it?
Jen, she graduated in the top 75% at Barry University.
Exactly.
Her flowers.
Look, this satanic cabal of pedophilic Zionist billionaires don't need to advance people that are smart necessarily. They just need to advance people that are saying the right things. And it doesn't take a genius to understand, oh, if I side with power, I'll get all this money and I'll have this great career and I'll want for nothing. So, yeah, I mean, they always vet, they vet out the actual critical thinkers and they advance and elevate the ones that just spew propaganda that suits their narrative. So that's not too surprising. Anyway, I'll keep playing this clip.
Yeah.
On November 6, 2016, one day before the U.S. presidential election.
Is she going to turn around and actually face us? I mean,
She can't. She has to read. She has to
Emails
read her
reveal Epstein was in communication
she looks like she reads with her finger. It's like, but that's probably the Barry University education there.
with Jabor about the Muslim Brotherhood. He is currently the chairman of the board of directors at SEIB Insurance and Reinsurance Company, LLC, chairman of Doha Properties, and chairman of Qatar Expo. Epstein had extensive dealings with the Qatari real estate broker and member of Qatar's ruling family. Qatar is the largest financier of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Qatar is also a United States ally, and it's like an Israeli proxy. You know, like this does not help your cause.
Well, here's what I don't get. How is she able to cover this depth of the Epstein files without mentioning any of the Zios or Donald Trump?
Yeah, not even addressing.
I don't understand. Like, it's not even. This is ridiculous.
And just to put this into context for everyone, we're talking about you know, all of these references to Jeffrey Epstein being an Israeli spy. I mean, the FBI itself, in an unclassified report, claims this is what they believe, that Jeffrey Epstein was trained to be an Israeli spy by the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak. He's admitted, Jeffrey has, in email exchanges, that he works for the Rothschild, et cetera, et cetera. And when is she going to mention this? It's completely missing in her analysis, of course. And then she just shows a tweet that she wrote to us. And you know, why not just talk to us? Why do you have to show this tweet that you wrote? You know, can't go off script, I guess.
No.
From 2018, Jabor sent Epstein an article about the Muslim Brotherhood. His email said, "An interesting reading on the Muslim Brotherhood." Epstein replied, "I love the other side of any story." Now, and you can see these emails here.
She says, given that pedophilia is a pillar of Islam since Muhammad, the most revered man in Islam, married Aisha when she was 6, blah, 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 it makes sense that Epstein had such close associations with Qatar's ruling family. Yeah, well, he also had much closer.
Well. Yeah, but she's not saying that part.
Wait, what's that?
I'm saying I saw that as well, but she's not citing that part. Let's see. I don't know if she does actually.
Yeah.
Head of Air Transport, Civil Aviation Authority, Doha, Qatar. We write to request for a landing permit for the below detailed aircraft arriving in Doha International Airport on November 6, 2016. Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. And you could see here that he was communicating with a member of the royal family, the Al Thani family, who said, "An interesting read on the Muslim Brotherhood." To which Epstein replied, "Great, I love the other side of a story. The play and the actors on the stage always change according to your seat in the theater." Basically saying, well, I'm always happy to turn a blind eye or make an exception. Depending on where you are in the world, your perception changes, right? So if you're in the United States, the Muslim Brotherhood is bad. If you're in Qatar, well, the Muslim Brotherhood is good because Qatar is the largest financier of the Muslim Brotherhood. So we see that Jeffrey Epstein played footsie with a lot of world leaders and even Islamic terrorists.
Speaking of playing footsie, what about Donald Trump playing footsie with 13-year-olds? And, you know, what about the...
That wasn't footsie.
Girl?
Footsie would have been a little bit more appropriate, actually, with the 13.
Yeah, true.
Footsie wouldn't be so
just
offensive.
footsie.
Yeah.
Completely shameless, right? Just
funders of the Muslim Brotherhood, members of the Qatari royal family. So again, like this idea that, oh, there's no Muslims listed in the Epstein files or Israel's the only country mentioned in the Epstein files, that's completely false.
It's completely false, guys. There were other countries mentioned, all right?
But which of those countries? So the countries that are basically on our payroll and that we use as, you know, to have as bases when we're traveling abroad, like for our people that go to those places, right?
And I don't
Qatar
remember.
isn't like, you know, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember any Qatari officials being circled by the groundskeeper for Epstein's estate to implicate these officials in a pedophile ring. But I do remember an Israeli prime minister being circled. Anyway.
Well, Ehud Barak was actually, and you brought him up before, you know, he was named by, what's her name? Virginia Giuffre.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
as
true.
one of the people the people that raped her.
Right. Oh, I don't know if I knew that she named him specifically, but that
She
would
named
check out.
Edwin Barack specifically.
Jesus. And now she's dead. Rest in peace.
Yeah, she killed herself.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Allegedly, Peter.
Mm.
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of other links here, but I'm not sure if any of these are click worthy. Let's
There
see.
wouldn't be practicing Muslims on that island.
What is our
They're
good
the
friend?
most square people I have ever, honestly. That's the biggest criticism I have. Like hanging out with the Muslims is like go to a dinner with them. It's very square.
Well, that's Jen.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, that's your favorite movie right there, with Tara Reid.
Is it?
I'll suck your for $1,000.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening.
Now, so far, we have what appears to me to be a series of victimless crimes. What about the toe? Bring it like the fucking toe! Stay out of Malibu, deadbeat!
They're gonna kill that poor woman, man.
What the fuck are you talking about? That poor slut kidnapped herself.
You got any promising leads or?
Yeah, sure. The got us working in shifts.
Is this your homework, Larry?
This is a bummer, man.
You're entering the
That's a
world of
bummer.
pain, son. We know that this is your homework.
This is what
And we know
happens
this
when
is your homework.
What's
when
that?
you do things to a stranger. This is what happens when you do.
When
certain-
you a stranger in the
yes, it's what happens.
I am the walrus.
Oh, that's where that came from.
Well,
You are the
as
walrus.
Buscemi saying it, but no, I am the
That's
walrus
true.
is from John Lennon.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov Lenin.
Not
Okay.
that Lennon is not I am the walrus. John
Yeah, no,
Lennon.
that's the walrus. Vladimir Lenin. I'm kidding.
Okay.
I know it's John Lennon. I was trying to do. Is this your favorite movie? Is that?
Yeah,
that right?
it is.
Yeah.
Actually, I've only owned 2 DVDs ever when DVDs were the thing. I only owned 2, and this was one of them.
That makes sense coming from a stoner like you. Why?
Yeah, it really does. It's this is the stoner's Pulp Fiction. Okay,
Ooh,
The Big Lebowski is the stoner's Pulp Fiction.
that's a good
So-
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fuck here.
What?
Can I just say,
Yeah.
is it not incredible? Years later, you realize what an absolutely phenomenal character actor Philip Seymour Hoffman was.
Well, we knew then. No, we knew then.
Is he in the Big
range-
Lebowski?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you saw him.
Yeah.
He's the
The assistant to Mr. Lebowski.
he's Mr.
Oh,
Lebowski.
oh, that's
He's
right.
Grant.
That's right. Yeah,
He's Grant, Mr. Lebowski's assistant.
that's right. Yeah, he was a great
Brant.
actor.
That's right. Brant, not Grant. Brant.
Nothing is fucked.
No, man.
Oh, there he is.
Goddamn plane has crashed into the mountain. Do you see what happens, Larry,
Where?
when you fuck a stranger in the ass? What happens, Larry?
Long car.
Okay, this is called
Por el camino del desierto, el viento.
Love
Okay.
the Jesus. Don't fuck with the Jesus. Hakeem, this is the Big Lebowski. And I really do think the best way to describe it to people who haven't seen it is like if you like Pulp Fiction and you're, maybe loosely affiliated with the cannabis people, you would very much appreciate the Big Lebowski.
I like how you're giving us this new information that the Big Lebowski is a cult classic and people should probably watch it because I don't think people know about the Big Lebowski. That's
Are you
sarcasm.
sure? Like, really? That's not a thing that, like, I don't know.
Remember, there's no bowling on Shabbos.
Oh, that's
Shabbos,
true.
Shabbos,
Yeah.
dude. I
That's
keep saying
right.
that's calmer than you, dude. Calmer than you.
Man. That's right.
I did see a clip a little ways up of our friend James Lee, and he usually brings the heat
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that.
stuff.
Where was that? Let's see. So many links, so little time. Where did you see that?
A
Let's
little
see.
further up.
Okay. Oh, there it
I'm
is. Yeah.
asking if we've seen Star Wars.
So James
I've
Lee.
seen every single Star Wars in the theater the week it's opened. Every single one.
So you're a big movie buff, Jen.
No, I'm just old.
Oh.
Because I saw New Hope when it came out. I saw all of them in the
Oh,
theater
yeah.
first run. That's what I mean. So when people
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
do you like Star Wars? It's not even that I'm a real buff. It's just that that's how long I've been seeing Star Wars movies.
And George Lucas wrote that movie to condemn the American Empire and
It's amazing
imperialism.
how so many people would always side with the rebels in that. You always side in the correct side in the Hunger Games. You always side with the right side everywhere except in real life.
Yeah. Liberals will condemn every genocide, past and future, except for the present one, of course.
Exactly.
Well, that's also because if you think about it, that's why people like to escape into fantasy. That's why so many people are into the star or the Starverse or whatever they call it, because fantasy is more enjoyable than reality. If you actually have to put yourself in harm's way, which is what reality requires, that's a different that's a different world. And I think most people know that, but that's like those are the breaks, I guess.
People can't make that connection. It's absurd. But yeah, Star Wars was written as an allegory for the Vietnam War. You know, the guerrillas versus the empire. All right, let's take a look at this clip from James Lee. He says the difference between a conspiracy theory and the truth.
You guys remember the Wayfair thing from 2020 where furniture?
I do remember that. Everybody thought that they were like trafficking children via this y'all know the furniture company Wayfair? Do y'all remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like these cabinets would be listed at crazy prices, like $8,000, $9,000, over $10,000, and the product being girls' names. And a lot of times it would be the same cabinet, but with different names and different prices, with the implication, of course, being, you know. There are also pillows being listed at $9,999 with some very suspicious naming conventions. I'll just put it that way. Now, at the time, the mainstream media, like the BBC, called this a quote-unquote false conspiracy theory. Wayfair
Well, there you go. Never believe something until it's officially denied. Then you know it's true.
Responded by saying they use an algorithm to name their products and that some of the cabinets were expensive because they were quote unquote industrial size meant for commercial and business use. The company's head of global communications, Jane Carpenter, also explained some of the weird pricing to be caused by a feature or workaround where the product would default to a high price like $9,999 until the true price was determined. Well, guess what just came out? There's an email in the Epstein files that shows that Jeffrey Epstein's assistant bought an unnamed item from Wayfair for over $8,000 back in 2018. $8,453 shipped to one Karina Shuliak. She is a whole nother rabbit hole, which we'll get into some other time. But yeah, somebody at Wayfair better go look up this order number and tell us what the heck is going on here, because at this point, it's not enough just to release the files. There needs to be investigations and there needs to be arrests.
So how will we know if this bill has been successful? We will know when there are men, rich men in handcuffs being perp walked to the jail. And until then, this is still a cover up.
Damn. Do y'all remember the Wayfair thing? And everybody thought that I remember it was a big conspiracy for like a week or so, a couple days, and then it just blew over. Like, the BBC said it's fine. So no investigation necessary. That's pretty wild. What is Jeffrey Epstein doing spending $8,000 on an item in Wayfair? The world's biggest pedophile.
He's got a lot of places to furnish.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, who doesn't need a $10,000 clothing cabinet?
I mean, well, he's got a lot of properties. He's got a lot of furnishings.
Are you defending Jeffrey Epstein right now, Jen? Is that what
I'm
hearing?
I feel more like I'm defending Wayfair, but I'm just saying, like, and I'm not necessarily a fan of any of that, but it's just, you can't blame the furniture company for just supplying furnishings.
Unless they're running some undercover
You guys remember
pedophile operation. I mean,
out of Wayfair? Is that
I don't know, Jen. I'm just asking questions here. Okay.
Is that something that's ever been speculated about Wayfair?
Great
really?
noticing continues.
Yes, in 2020, they were speculating that they were trafficking people via the
I
app.
didn't know that. I did not know that.
It was a
I've used
big
Wayfair
thing.
lots. I've used
Well,
them.
you need to put the bong down, Jen. Okay. Just kidding. No, I'm serious. No, pick the bong up because I'm right there with you. We need more of that. But
I just want to know if anybody feels compelled to really start making the wholesale changes that we desperately need. That's going to be the big question.
mm-hmm.
The system is collapsing under its own weight, and as we've been pointing out for a long time, the Epstein files is just one more layer in a cake that is rotten to its core. You have federally elected officials that that commit federal crimes every day by doing insider trading, and insider trading on astronomical levels, and in many respects, insider trading on war profiteering. I mean, I did a clip the other day about Steph Curry, again, an all-time great basketball player, but has invested millions upon millions of dollars in Israel-based tech firms, which we all know are weapons manufacturers meant to kill Palestinians. And as far as I'm concerned, he is genocide adjacent. He is a genocider by proxy.
Who are we talking about?
Steph Curry.
Oh yeah, that guy. He's
like, to me, that's a story that no one in corporate media is going to touch it. Nobody. But you should.
So can we dispense with this? So Steph Curry is financing, or he's investing heavily into the Israeli industry?
Yes.
Okay.
To the surveillance and the intelligence.
Yes.
Right.
aspect.
Yeah.
Defense. It's defense.
Yeah.
And defense.
Well, I figure if you're investing in Israel, it's got to do with surveillance or, something nefarious like that. National security, like you say, defense.
Honestly, if you were investing in it prior to October 7th, even that is disgusting beyond words. The idea that it's coming out now, 2.5 years later, and you're still doing it. Oh,
yeah.
Ooh. And I thought I hated LeBron James. LeBron looks like a saint now compared to Steph Curry. Holy shit.
It always comes down to sporty games with you, doesn't it?
It's very important stuff. How about the freaking guy? Listen, Andrew's in Portland, okay? You got that fuckhead who's from Israel who's playing on the Portland Trailblazers who's like, I don't know what your people's problem is with Israel. Like, they're really, like, they're out of their mind.
Yeah.
They're out of their mind.
It's who would have thought that American athletes paid hundreds of millions of dollars to play a game would be so ignorant of world politics.
Who would have thought that maybe those shouldn't be the people that we look to for, like, political opinions?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna drop a little bit of information to the group now.
Ooh, okay.
I'm not.
This is an exclusive.
Yeah. Well, so I am. I have some interesting friends. We'll just leave it at that. And so I am actually in less than, what is it? 8, it's 9 o'clock. In 9 hours, I will be on a plane to San Francisco, and I will be there for Super Bowl weekend. And I will be at some, we'll just say, exclusive parties. So I'm sure that I'm going to be running into some of these people. Now, considering the company I'll be in, I know I'm going to not really be able to say what I would want to say if I see certain people there. But I'll tell you something, my friend. I am going to be at one of the New England Patriots parties. And I know that if there's a chance that Robert Kraft is in that room, it's going to be very difficult for me to bite my tongue around him. Because you want to talk about not just a bastard of the worst kind, but this is a guy that, like, presents gifts to Netanyahu.
Yeah, we saw that. Yep.
And I'd like to think that there are just so many people that are in these orbits that know it's wrong, but they want to be in those rooms. Like, to them, that's more important. Yeah, I know it's terrible, and I really should say something about it. Yeah, I know Steph Curry's a son of a bitch who shouldn't be investing in the Israel companies, but I love the way he plays the round ball game. That's important to me. And as Americans, we find ways to justify this stuff. Think about, listen, there's a difference between the MAGA movement and the America First movement. I think everybody's kind of coming to terms with that now. But to those people that are looking at Trump and that have followed him and have been, it's kind of seen as like a deity for like the past decade. Think about how difficult it is for them. They've crafted their whole identity around him. I'm MAGA. I'm a Trumper. Make America great again. And now you're realizing, whether you want to admit it or not, it was all a lie. You wasted a decade of your life thinking that this was something worth getting behind, when in reality, we should have always been planning how we were going to figure our way out of this broken system, which is ostensibly what we've been trying to do. And I just hope more and more people wake up to these realities of what's in front of us. And I know they're scary. I get it. I understand that there are people who just don't want to come to terms with these realities. It's people lose family over it. People lose friends over it. I've lost tons of family and friends as a result of my position. I know Jen has as well.
No, you know what though? In retrospect, I've changed my opinion on that, because I realize that people that are friends, you don't lose. The people that you shed are people that are not your people. And I have ever since that gained a whole bunch of new people that are more seemingly my people. So while I do understand that people are estranged from their current people based on this, I think it's just hard to accept that those are not really your people.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Have you lost friends, family over?
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty much completely estranged from my family at this point. And yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with my politics and just, being outspoken. And also, I don't know. I feel like this, where we're at now, it's sort of a dividing line. People don't share the same opinions as I do, and that's fine. But like, I don't want to hang out with those people.
Yeah.
I don't want to, it's weird because I was talking about this a couple days ago, how like, it seems like, man, remember 2015 or 2014 when it felt like you had more in common with people? And then, it's like, we can't go back to that age of innocence. I know too much now. And now it's like, you're either on this side or you're on the other side. And, choose wisely.
Yeah, it's like really like coming out of the Matrix and being in that Zion place. And it's the people that are there are the only people that you can really count on, because the people that are still in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Well, I did notice quite the name, King Ballnuts, made a comment, but his comment was very telling in that I don't know how many friends and family I've lost, but I know that I'm alone. And one thing I'm here to tell you, brother, assuming you're not alone.
You're not. It feels like that. It is, but everybody is connected in this collective. And I think that, yeah. And people seem to forget that because we spend so much time online and it's hard and we are isolated. But no, you are definitely not alone. And what we're seeing now is most definitely not normal. And we should never normalize this. This is not normal. Feeling anxious and uncomfortable and unsettled and worried, that's an appropriate response right now. Everything that people that don't feel any of those things, they're the ones that are not normal. That's not normal.
Yeah. If you're maladjusted to this cruel world, that's an appropriate response. You should feel uncomfortable because it's very unsettling.
Despite all of the roadblocks that the algorithm and certain people have thrown at our channel. I mean, listen, we know the Israel lobby is after our channel because they've had people like dig into stuff from years ago to figure out how they can throw community strikes at the channel and warnings and everything. But we do this because we understand that there's a greater mission that's being served here. And what we also recognize is that when we do our streams and we have a decent audience show up, we realize that this is community for a lot of people. This is a place where you know that you could come, and that even if you have differences of opinions about a litany of different political issues, there's a lot of core principles that most people do agree upon. And when they come to our channel, they understand that everyone lives and approves of those principles, even if there's disagreements. People can vote for Trump, people vote for Kamala, people who are libertarian, green, it doesn't matter. As long as those core principles are there, people have an understanding of what is important and how there is a ruling class that is a very small number of people. It's not that big. And then there's everybody else. And that's where, when we see, as I was alluding to earlier, You know, the people that we encounter on a regular basis that we know are just basically being, you know, bootlickers, you know, Lickspittels, if you will, in German, to the establishment, that they have no principles. They don't believe in anything. They just believe in the paycheck. How can we convince people that Israel is not behind the suppression of the Epstein files and why this? Russia, we'll blame Russia. Oh, we'll also say that there are Arabs that are also in the Epstein files. Zoran Mamdani's mother somehow ended up in the Epstein files.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Can I just ask, Andrew, I have to ask you a question. Are you, in fact, a descendant of Karl Marx?
What?
Are you a descendant of Karl Marx?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Well, the chat has a lot of interesting information. So, first of all, are you Jewish? The chat wants to know if you're Jewish.
I get asked this nearly every time I stream. No, I'm not Jewish.
That's okay. No,
Not that-
I am Jewish. I was raised that. I mean, well, again, I consider myself to be more of a Christ-following atheist. I've never believed in God, but I grew up in a Jewish family with Jewish grandparents that kept kosher, and I went to Jewish holy days, and I went to, you know what I'm saying? I went to Jewish camps. I was in Jewish school, so I was raised in that community.
I'm being bigoted against because of my Jewfro. But just because I have a Jewfro doesn't mean
that
that
why
I'm
man
Jewish.
with long last name is saying that you're literally descended from Karl Marx and that you're lying and that you are a descendant?
I think if only I could be so honored.
I was going to say, I was really going to be like, that was going to blow my mind. Like that was going to be like,
are you telling me that a chatter, somebody leaving a comment on our stream is maybe not telling the truth? And maybe we shouldn't trust everything
that there's somebody in there that is very insistent that you are in fact Jewish and a descendant of Karl Marx. That is what I am saying to you.
Well, I think
and says that you're lying, that you're not.
Yeah.
I just want to come on here and say that I am very appreciative that no one is talking about me. I have been a very bad boy for a very long time, and for whatever reason, I've just slid under the radar. That's why they call me Slick Willie for a reason.
So gross.
That's your Bill Clinton?
Yeah, it's my Bill Clinton.
Yeah. No,
now
I'm
you're descended from Groucho Marx.
Yeah, I'm descended from Groucho. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
no, well, you know, you definitely look like you are related to Zach Galifianakis. If you give me that,
yeah,
that's an easy one.
He
when
wishes.
was the last time you were shaven that your face wasn't bearded?
Oh, my face. Okay, I was wondering because if you said shaved, like
no,
yeah,
you mean like pre-surgery? No, I mean,
because I do regularly shave the bottom half, but everything above that is just all hair. That's a joke. That's just
no, I
joke.
know. But when was the last time you saw your bare face? Like that, you saw your bare face?
Like a couple months ago. I go through periods of growing the beard and then shaving it off and then growing it back, and people they never recognize me. You know, I don't know. It's so silly, but no, this is actually a wig, guys. I don't know if anybody really knows that. But
no, because if somebody was going to get a wig, they would get one that was much more agreeable.
What?
You know what
I'm
saying?
Are you saying I have disagreeable hair?
I'm saying that your hair is a lot, and it obviously is something that you contend with, and it's just you wouldn't go out of way to get a hair that requires that much effort in order for it to be straight. That's all I'm saying. You wouldn't have a wig like that.
You need to get like a Pantene Pro V commercial or something going on. You know that, you know, and you
Pantene Pro V. If you're listening, I'm open for sponsorships. These locks are my moneymaker. So
do you not see the chat? Do you not see what's going on in the chat?
And I have
okay, because Brion, and now this is somebody in the X chat. Brion Carter wants you to ask me if I had to eat the circumcision or the Libya, but I don't know what that has to do with that.
Yeah, wait, Libya is a country in Africa. I don't know what.
I don't know. Maybe obviously that's a typo or something. But if I had to eat the circumcision, no. But I will tell you that the foreskin that's cut off during after a circumcision is called the schmuck. That's the schmuck.
Oh.
that.
I didn't know that either.
Yes.
So that's what people are
No,
calling you.
Brion, I don't know what you're talking about.
So
But
you
I
know-
also have had people in my chat tell me that Jews get interest-free loans and that you just have to know the secret password. Well, I don't know what that is. And I come from a long line of Jewish people that have never gotten interest-free shit. So
That's
I don't
because
know
it's
what
a class. That's because it's a class war, nothing more. Are there interest-free loans that certain Jewish people get in the banking system? I have no doubt that they do. But does that mean that it's open for business for every Jew? No, that's not how it works. I wish people would understand that this really is a class war, that this is what
Yeah.
it comes down to. And I also have
Because-
to say, of all the videos that you've ever done, that video of you with the 20 squirts, that is, dude, I cannot recall when I've ever laughed so hard. That is, oh my God, you got a whip noodle. It's like, oh my God, that was so good.
People might not know what you're talking about, but I do, and I appreciate that. That's high praise. Well, yeah, it seems like the chat's going wild over all this right now.
Yeah.
So
they say your hair is great. Your hair is great. It's just
yeah.
voluminous.
Well, it's a lot of upkeep. Okay,
That was exactly what I was saying.
Takes me 8 hours a day just to, make sure that all of this is perfectly coiffed and coiffed, if you will. But you're right, Peter. It's a class war. It doesn't matter if you're a Jewish supremacist. It matters if you're a billionaire and you happen to be a Jewish supremacist. Now we're talking about someone that has an institutional control and is able to actually affect people's lives and use an ideology to justify it. But if they're not trying to get, these rich Jewish supremacists are not trying to work with poor Jewish supremacists. There's definitely a class distinction that I think a lot of people don't like to acknowledge, but you're absolutely right.
I think it's tough for a lot of people. I think, again, like I said, I think a lot of people have a hard time coming to terms with reality. And that's one of the harder components to what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get people to see the reality of what's going on, but it's tough.
Yeah.
But every day that we do this, the more that we do it, the more people come to terms with the fact that this is a revolution that is unfolding. Because once you lose complete faith in the government, which I think most people have, it's just inevitable that eventually something's going to give. That's why that's why Trump is even, again, half-heartedly floating the idea of nationalizing elections. The second that even becomes a topic of conversation, it's just proof positive that the people are preparing to revolt. Like, that's where we're going.
Jen is coming to her defense, I see in the comments.
Because they're asking for related Ron. But here's what's funny is that my father-in-law's name is Ron Perlman. And we do spell it right, but it isn't that Ron Perlman. My father-in-law is an orthopedic surgeon, but he does well, but he's not that Ron Perlman, but no.
Wasn't that the guy that did NSYNC or like he was
Ron Perlman is
Backstreet
the
Boys?
Gillette magnet, and then he ended up buying, like, I want to say he bought Marvel or one of the he's just like a big media wealthy oligarchy person.
I'm thinking of some guy named Lou, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Lou Perelman? Are they all Perelmans?
I don't know, but it's just funny that my father-in-law is a Ron Perlman, but no, not the same Ron Perlman that you all are thinking about.
Yes. Jen is one of the good Jews, okay?
And no, Ron Perlman from Hellboy isn't even spelled the same way. So no, that's a totally different Ron Perlman. But no, not Hellboy, Ron Perlman. That's where you guys.
Yeah.
And by the way, and here's the other thing for the person who is assessing that that's an Ashkenazi Jewish name. It is, but that's my husband's family's name. So if you're trying to assess my genetic makeup,
you married into it,
right? But I am also Ashkenazi Jew. But you don't necessarily know that based on my name. So I'm just saying, for people in the future, when you look at somebody, you should know if that's their original name or a married name.
People should be judged not by their religious affiliation, but how they materially affect their world. And Jen Perelman is an anti-Zionist, and she's an activist, and she's condemning all of the right things, and so she should be judged by her actions. All right, just like everyone else in this world.
Amen.
Well, I want
to go eat.
What's that?
I need to go eat.
I hear. I was about to say we can wrap up. We spent about 2 hours, and I want to thank you guys for doing this and giving me the pleasure of hosting you on my live stream. I hope I did a good job. I know you guys are pros at this, and I was like kind of intimidated. What?
No, are you not intimidated? Don't be silly.
Yeah, no, because I don't really, you guys got the thing down, and I learned from you all quite a bit. I watch you frequently, and so even the fact that I'm doing the StreamYard thing and pulling up the clips, like you guys, I bow down to your skills.
Oh, stop. Well, first of all, no, it's a process. And to the person in the chat, yes, Ron Perlman, the Gillette magnate Ron Perlman, was in fact married to Ellen Barkin. That is correct. Also still not my father-in-law.
Okay, before you guys go, I have one last question, just a prediction. Okay, just with this whole Iran thing, we had the American Armada build up. It seems like now we're pulling out of the Middle East. I mean, what's your take on? Are we going to war with Iran still, or are we trying to crawfish our way out of this? Peter,
I don't know. I think they came up with the phrase taco for a reason, right? Like, so I think that's not based on nothing. The people in our government that are in positions that truly understand our military capabilities know that we're not capable of doing what it is they're saying we're going to do. Okay. Like that's just the reality. So they can talk that game, but we really can't do it. My understanding is that even our bitch West Asian colonies have all said, no, you can't use our airspace to attack Iran. Well, that creates quite a predicament for us. We're not going to be able to do anything by land. We're not going to really be able to do, we're in a predicament. And at the end of the day, I think that they know that if we attack Iran, they're going to take Israel with them.
Absolutely.
Because we can drop however many bombs over, we have the capability to do certain things from our distance that we are, but so do they. And they will rise again. They will level Israel. And I also think they will level all of our bases that are in their reach. And I think they will set our gas fields, our oil fields on fire. And I think that they can make life extremely bad for us. Yep. That's what I think.
Yeah. So war, yes, no. You say no. Jen says no. Peter, what do you say?
I'm not convinced that we're going to war because for no other reason, this country simply would not tolerate any type of conscription. And considering, they would have no choice. You're having Israel is no longer going to be a state. And they are going to go through a lot of hell that they're going to rain down upon us as it happens. But the beautiful thing about it is that we know we're on the right side of history. And then no matter how painful it is, and no matter what they try to do to force us to continue to support their nation, the reason above all others that we know their experiment is going to fail is because when you get right down to it, especially the American Zionist Jews, they're not willing to die for their cause. They're not willing to put themselves in harm's way. They're too affluent, they're too comfortable, and they want everybody else to do the dirty work for them. If they're forced to do it themselves, they're just gonna quit.
And the Samson option is real, guys.
That's the danger.
Yeah.
The Samson option is the danger.
That is real.
That's the difference between American Jews and the Zionist Israeli Jews. The
Correct.
Zionist Israeli Jews are psychotic, like psychotic. They're worse than any Red Army, any Third Reich member that you could possibly imagine, because they would actually drop a nuclear bomb.
Yes.
Like, to me, there is
for sure.
Smotrich. I don't even think Netanyahu's the worst. I think there are worse men in his orbit. Ben-Gvir is the biggest psychopath I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, that guy takes pleasure in killing people. And I do think that you have people like Ben Shapiro and Laura Loomer that are probably adjacent to it to some degree. They just want to make sure that they're in good shape. That's all that really matters to them. But they better start planning their exit strategy, because this country is rising up against them. And no matter how hard they try, that's why you've got things like Upscrolled now, that is an alternative to TikTok, and it's going to continue to grow. And there will be other alternatives that will come, no matter how hard they try to keep us down. And the one last thing I will say is that the only reason why this is not a totalitarian nation that is under the control fully of the state of Israel is because this nation is armed. This is a nation of people that fully believe in the right to bear arms and defend themselves. Try going to the place in the country that Jen lives in. You try coming into their neighborhood and try to take their shit, watch what happens. They will shoot first and ask questions later.
Well, where I am now, and that's another reason why this is preferable. And for people who are saying that it's not that I want to hang out with Trumpers. I don't want to hang out with any of those people.
You're just trying to get away from the Zios.
I'm trying to get away from the Zios. I'm trying to get away from the neo-libs, the Dems that think that if just we had elected Kamala, everything would be fine. And in reality, where I am now is I'm surrounded by people that are just very capable. Every man I meet here knows how to reverse a trailer since they're 5 years old. Okay. Every man that I meet here, they know how to do shit. People know how to actually handle shit and do shit. People where I am from, they probably don't even know how to change a tire. They call AAA. And so I like being around people that are, capable.
Feel that. Well, wise words. And Jen Perelman, Peter Hager, thank you so much for joining me tonight and being on the show. And I hope we can do it again real soon.
Sure, absolutely.
I would love to, be invited on your show anytime, I'm not inviting myself. I'm just saying.
No, you are. Oh, yeah. No. You can always come on our show. I'll make sure that now when we have, especially if you're willing to do last minute cancellations, because sometimes people drop and we have to fill in,
And sometimes those people are me doing the last minute cancellations, and
it could always be
for anybody that is watching on our stream, please make sure you are subscribed to Rothbone's channel. And of course, if you are not, if you are part of Rothbone's stream and have not subscribed to our channel, please do.
Yes.
Cross streaming is very important, especially when we're fighting. We are mice fighting a gorilla when it comes to the algorithm. So any and all
apes together strong.
Yeah.
Right.
It's building the web, and it's the only way that it's going to work. And, eventually if they shut us all down, that's when it happens in the real world.
True. And your YouTube page is Revolutionary Change Now. I'm about to share it in the link.
Is that? No, that's not our YouTube is just Revolutionary Change.
It's just right. Okay. I got it right the first time. All right. I'm sharing that.
I think it's just what we couldn't get for our email account.
I thought it was Revolutionary Change. Yeah, maybe I saw it on the emails. Like
it's his email. It's our email is Revolutionary Change Now. Yeah.
All right. Well, somebody else had it, but whatever.
Thanks so much. It was nice to talk to you.
Thank you, Jen.
It's okay to see you too, Peter. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful night. Get some dinner and get some rest. And Peter, enjoy the Super Bowl. And I'll see you guys real soon. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. There we go. Thank you to Jen and Peter for joining the show. That was excellent. I think that was a worthwhile conversation. I hope you enjoyed it as well. We'll have to do it all again real soon. This Friday, I'm going to be joined by Carlos Garrido of Midwestern Marks, and we're going to talk about anti-Russia, anti-communist propaganda, and I look forward to that discussion. So don't forget to tap that notice button. Every bit helps. You didn't know that I have friends? Well, now eat your heart out. I have friends. Yes, they're online. No, I haven't ever actually met these people in real life, but we're friends. And that's what matters. And you all are all my friends too, because there's not much in the real world that really excites me. But I do like having these discussions with all of you. I paid them. That's what you think? You think that the only reason they decided to talk to me is because I paid them? It's fucked up. And okay, so what if I paid them? It's not like it was a lot. It was just a little bit. Just a, you know? Come on. Well, I think we talked about just about everything that I wanted to talk about. So I am going to log off and order some hot dogs and pizza and some grape soda and maybe some cream cheese and have a nice evening to myself. Okay, how you like that? So thank you for everyone that was here and enjoyed the stream, and we'll be back tomorrow. Love you all. Good night, good luck, and I'll see you in Valhalla. Good night, everyone. Peace and love.